Okay, Rob.
Yo.
In theory, I'm gonna move this mouse over here, and
Yeah.
then now you're gonna move a mouse.
I'm gonna move a mouse. I've been trying to get mice to move for a few months
That's
now.
been a problem. Can you move that mouse? Does it move? It
Oh, I
moves.
can move that mouse.
You move that mouse. Okay, all right. I'm gonna load up the Twitch app. Zillow jump scare.
Black Eye says, I just want to know if Rob has decided that the solution to his problems is to buy a new house right after remodeling his current one. Well,
So,
closer than you might think.
Funny you should say. So thanks everyone for your patience. Obviously it is a remap tradition to have technical problems, but also we won't get into it. We figured it out. We're getting there. This is also the first time I've been streaming from my setup, and so since we transitioned from Waypoint to remap, so all sorts of other stuff to tinker with there. But in theory, we are here because later today you'll be able to listen to the pilot episode of. Rob, should we call it just HOA or H.O.A? Does that give it like a cooler name if it's like a period?
Or is
like
it the HOA?
The HOA? I don't know. We don't have to necessarily settle on it quite yet. But basically, Rob and I recorded a podcast that hopefully you'll like and hopefully you'll want to listen to more of. That is an extension of kind of these kind of goofy housing, kitchen cabinetry streams. We do start from like a serious place, which is like where are we at in our lives, in the places that we live in, and our relationship with those places, and what happens when you had ambitions of going somewhere else, living somewhere else, and the world says no. And for some like Rob owns a condo, wanted to own a house, the economy is not gonna the mortgage, like there's all those are things stacked against him. Me, I have neighbors, friends that sort of are keeping me in the place that I'm in going forward. And we sort of unpack what it means to have a relationship with the place that you live in. And one of those things that we like didn't get into in the podcast itself, which again you'll be able to listen to soon, is really about the thing that's fucking over Rob, which is houses are expensive and they're not even necessarily that feature rich or big. Like Rob couldn't afford the McMansion if he wanted to be a goblin. Like he just wants 3 bedrooms, and that is the impossible dream.
And this is the thing. So actually, this is kind of germane to some of the people have loved the kitchen cabinetry content. Everyone enjoys watching us look at kitchen cabinets. But we had this moment where it was like, are we being fools? Because like by the time we did this entire process, wouldn't the money we sunk into the condo, like redoing it, especially because pulling on one problem, you're pulling out more, doesn't that start to add up to something that could be down payment on a nicer place? And maybe we don't do any of this and we just move. And so, we decided let's take a little temperature of the Boston housing market. Look at all this selection
There's
we
so many
have here. But you know what?
There are red dots. People are saying constantly, there's not enough houses for people. There's nowhere for people to live. I see dots everywhere. I see houses to live.
Yeah. Look at the bounty of housing, right? So like, how could this be hard at all? Because the Boston housing market is great, right?
There's so much
space.
space.
Let's do some parameters.
I played Fallout. I walked around a lot in that game. Geography, big. Space, big. Also, probably houses, big.
Plenty of room for your fort. That's for sure. So the thing is, let's put some parameters in here, though.
Yeah.
Right? And let's start with just modest goals here. Because right now, like what we have is what I have is a 2-bed, 1.5 bath.
Egyptian
But
revival. What's an Egyptian revival home? What does that even mean?
Hang on. Where's this Egyptian revival home?
Directly to your right. Top left.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, we're already sabotaging this.
What is an Egyptian revival?
Okay, so this is back bay. Okay. No. So this is like the most expensive real estate in Boston. It looks, oh my God, look at that. Oh, the crimes I would commit to have such a spiral staircase.
You could really push a body down those, and it would fall spectacularly. It would be
could.
so cinematic.
Or you could be like Jason Bourne and ride the body down to break your fall while killing all the dudes on the stairwell.
But what is
Just
the
incredible
Egyptian
stuff.
revival part? I'm not an expert in cultural aesthetics, but where is the Egyptian part?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Okay,
where
you're making me feel better. I realize that you are more cultured than I.
Genuinely, I'm wondering if this is like an oblique nod to the color scheme and the linens that they're using. Like that's the only thing I can think of. But I do not like. Yeah, it looks great though.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to immediately take us off track which is
No.
easy to do on a website like this for sure.
All right, so 2-bed, 2-bath. Doesn't seem like we're shooting for the moon here.
No.
Let's go for the only thing I want to remove here is multifamily, because for the most part, multifamily means you're going to grab people who are selling properties for rental to aspiring landlords. So we don't want those because that will just be like, do you want to like rent out this property? That's like 3-decker. But now let's put in some filters here, right?
Ooh.
Let's because we'd like it to be
like
real
Instagram for our house. It's like, what do we want? Like, ooh, vintage? Ooh.
Let's just say again, I think these are modest goals. I think 1,500 square feet is not like too out there.
So you think in terms of square footage? I don't. I can't even conceptualize. I don't even know what I could look up what my house is.
My conceptualization is a little screwed up because my current condo on paper has something like 1,250, 1,300 square feet, but it is so weirdly laid out that a ton of that goes to waste. So I think our actual living space is like 900. And so I'm like, well, I couldn't possibly live in anything less than like, 2,000 or something like that. But I have no idea. Like with a better layout, maybe that's fine.
I have
square feet.
1,856. That's what our house is. I just looked it up.
Okay, so 1,500. We're keeping it. Yeah, a little ranch house like where I grew up, 1,500 square feet. This is not too wild. All right. Now let's have the moment of truth. Doesn't seem like you should be spending more than $500,000 on that home, right?
No, that would be. I mean, again,
bathroom.
it's a skewed market, and so we got to account for a little bit of a bounce. But yeah, I think you're.
Look,
Rob, what happened to all the dots, Rob? I think you need to refresh. I think. Like, did you put in? What happened to the dots?
they're gone. There are no homes that fit. There's nothing that fits that category.
How far out do we have to go before the dots come back?
You have to go all the way out to the outer belt, and even then there's not many. So there's a fair number in Worcester.
Rob, there's a house here
yeah.
that says 10K. It's up there too. It's up there.
Oh wait, it's an auction house. Auction house.
What does that mean? Like it's condemned?
Someone got in tax trouble.
The actual purchase price will be determined by the highest bid at a live auction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So auction houses.
I see.
Yeah, it's like usually there's not a good story.
A little
behind
Blair
those.
Witch vibes here in the basement. Like time to put my back against the wall before a creepy witch takes me out and knocks the camera on the ground.
Let me tell you something else. See these little bad boys?
What are those? Water heaters?
Those are boilers.
Boilers.
So this is another thing you run into a lot here. A ton of the housing, especially as you go a little further north, instead of having like central HVAC, what you have are like massive fuel oil burners for like boiling water for heat.
It says here on the right, has heating, unspecified type. Which I feel like I don't know that you want to see that. Where it's like we're not sure what kind of heating.
Auction listings are usually not filled out correctly because of like this is just like it's just up there so people know the auction is happening.
Gotcha.
But there's usually not like a real estate agent taking detailed care of the listing. But the point is, so this means like if folks with this situation here, if that's your heating, that means every year you got to have the truck pull up to fill your boilers with like fuel oil.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds expensive.
It is expensive. It's a major expense. There's a annual like state reimbursement for people who have to pay for fuel oil heating. It's a big thing, and a lot of houses now have moved off of that, but they are like these things are impossible to move effectively. They just sit there. So like even if your house has been retrofitted with like more modern heating, you just have old boilers with like years of like fuel oil shit built up, and it just sits in your house. You never get rid of it.
What's that smell? Go down to the wine cellar, and what's that? What's that other fragrance that I'm taking in? I think it's fuel. Okay, sorry, off track.
So, this is the thing. So you will run into a lot of houses where you're like, oh, this looks really nice, and then it's like it's running on this, and that used to be like a real deal breaker for me. But now I'm like, how bad could having your house filled with kerosene be? Really?
And Rob,
When's the last time I heard about a kerosene explosion in a house?
The state's giving you a kickback, right? You're just being retro, and the state is underwriting your vibes.
The problem is when I first moved here, I do hear about this less, but when I first moved here, I did hear a couple times every year about these systems causing like really nasty house fires.
Well, yeah,
so,
I mean, yeah, I don't think that's a huge stretch. Like that, my imagination does not have to go very far. But you
extra look, houses explode all the time without kerosene in them. Yes, like the Merrimack Valley natural gas explosions from a few years ago, when a little oopsie with the gas lines throughout Lawrence, Mass, caused multiple homes to explode pretty much simultaneously across the course of an afternoon. That was, yeah, not good. So,
so not a lot of dots, especially because, like, how far are you willing to go?
So the thing is, like, we do not have to be in Boston. Like, our sweet spot is out here, like North Burbs, due to work considerations for MK, and then like there's some family stuff that we need to be proximate to. So, but like this just gives you an illustration of, like, it's just a real estate dead zone all around Boston, pretty much.
Okay, show me, pull down 500K, put it up a notch. What does that change everything to?
All right.
We just go to 600. Okay.
More.
But Boston is still dead.
Thin on the ground.
Yes.
But yeah, let's see. Let's not get too wild here. Okay.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500. Oh my God, Rob. That's not, I mean, no offense to anyone that lives in that house, but that's not what my brain goes to for $569,000.
No. Now, admittedly, this is effectively a beach home, right? Like you saw on the map. Like, this is the thing that, like, it is probably nice to some, nice shoreline is kind of relative down in Quincy. It is, like, pretty developed around there. But still, like,
got weight room?
Yeah. So this is kind of like, so let's move away from the shore here. Let's go to like out in Acton. Okay, now all right, Unit 170.
So we're not even a house.
Home. We got a condo.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
We got a condo, a nice condo.
Central air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Now here's the thing. I'm not super stoked like I don't really want to continue condo life. Right now I live in a place where for the princely sum of $500 a month to the mortgage to the condo board, I get to live in a place whose basement flooded over the winter due to ruptured pipes, and I've been rescued by the fire department twice in the last 8 months from a stock elevator. So
wait, how much is your condominium fees again?
About $500 a month.
Well, are you interested in paying $670 for an HOA fee? Because that's what you'd be doing here.
Oh my fucking God. I missed that.
You're going up. Moving on up. To the Upton side. With a $670 monthly HOA fee in the sky.
So yeah. So you're paying. So yeah. So whatever your mortgage is, you're going to be paying $670 on top of that a month.
Holy shit, man. That's a lot.
Fuck that. Oh. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I don't care how many pickleball courts you throw down.
I mean, that is a pool, though. I mean, pools are good. Pool's something. No slides, though. No diving boards. That's just a standard pool. Got a
This
little
doesn't
park.
look bad, but
No,
you know,
you could do worse.
no. But it's not quite what we were looking for, right? You know
No.
what? Let's screen out. I don't want to look at condos. I want to look at houses.
Get 'em outta here.
Show me houses, not townhouses.
No.
Houses. All right, Bill Ricca. Noble Bill Ricca. What do you got for me?
Rob, this looks like the type of house. Now, it doesn't have the driveway on the side there. That's unique. But this style of house, frankly, is not too far off from the house that my guess is this would be it's split level. That's what I have. Like, this is architecturally deeply similar, although much less modern. Than what I have in my house. Like, you'll see, like, in that first picture on the right, in the like right below the big one, there, where that goes out to an extra room, that goes out to a deck in my backyard. They just have an extra room where my deck would be. So this is actually pretty standard. But
this is
where geographically, like, what is Bill
Ricca?
Bill Ricca? Like, is that a fancy? Is that like kind of bog standard?
No, my friend, it is not. It's not fancy. It's not. It's not like it's just it's kind of a like commuter bedroom community. There's like Bill Ricca has some decent restaurants in it, but it's not a destination. It's fine. It's part of a belt of towns that are just kind of fine. But like, so we're talking about like coming up on 600 grand here, 575. A very lovely and carefully selected shot of the ground.
That's a big yard, Rob. There's so much grass for you to mow.
Yeah, and it looks like the grass crawled inside here and fucking died, Patrick.
Dude, this carpet is distressing. This carpet is distressing. That looks like pea soup.
What about the beautiful way it meets the kitchen tile?
Keep going. We got what else? What are they hiding in this warehouse?
Okay, so like it's not staged. Not a great sign.
No.
There's no staging here at all. This says to me like, you know, again,
take it or leave it.
A lot of places come vacant for sad reasons, right? Like people are moved out, people pass away,
dies,
etc. Yeah. But the lack of staging here is a little bit of a flag. The kitchen looks incredibly, so that's a new fridge, new-ish. But that is some old fucking tile, some old cabinetry.
Oh yeah. Looks like a bunch of the appliances are newish.
Yeah. It does.
So this goes out to the. See, now this could be a nice room, and it actually looks like it still goes out to a deck. So you get the kind of like a seasonal room out there. Ooh, what is with that?
Hey, what's going on in the ceiling?
What's going on with the color? On both, on the ground and on the walls. What is the gamer room? You're not, Chad is not wrong on that front.
Into the avocado chamber. Punished Milk, some good liminal flash work happening in these photos.
I didn't know we were still watching trailers for Alan Wake 2. I thought we were done with Gamescom opening night. These colors are choice.
And there's this carpeting in every room. It's clearly like carefully selected once upon a time, but like different color carpeting, and it all looks incredibly fucked up. Like this does not look like it just needs a vac, and like this all happened during the move. People keep noticing this thing in the baseboard. I'm assuming that's kind of some sort of venting, but it is a bit odd.
That looks like where the heating is coming in and cooling.
Oh, I wish we could zoom in here. This looks like theme wallpaper, my friend.
It does. What is it though? The graphic, the photo's too low res for us. Even if we could zoom in, I don't think we'd be able to.
Oh, the photos are very low.
Oh, Rob? R.I.P. Rob? I'm still here, right? I can still click through these photos. Damn. That house came for Rob and just zapped his ass. Let's see. Let's see what Rob says in the Discord. What happened to Rob? Rob is still on the call. He can hear me. Okay. Interesting. Maybe if I hang up. Can you, let's see, can you hang up? Call back. All right, we're going to see what else, what Rob's going to try and fix his situation. Ooh, this is like the most normal. Where's the toilet paper? Oh, now Rob's got a full internet drop. All right, Rob's working it out. In theory, Rob will just be able to rejoin when it all works out for them. But like I see the paper towel roll. Are we using paper towel for our butts? That's a no-no. Also, yes, carpet bathroom is a horrifying. Workshop room, you know, for when you bring your tools, get in here. Washer, dryer. Again, all the appliances seem new. They still have like the warning stickers on them. They had lots of people keep on for an extended period of time, then at some point go, I'm gonna take the sticker off that they told me not to take off. Oh, so there is a tiny deck. But it's not a whole lot. You could put some chairs out there, I guess. And then you've got this really tiny patio. That honestly would be nicer if it was like a fire pit. And then the stairs came down. Different, like if the stairs came out, like towards the screen, and then you could put a fire pit in the center there. That would be nice. Instead, you just have like this 3/4 of a pie. And then that's the house. No, I'm not interested in taking a tour. Yeah, $575. It is just fantastic home. Well, sure. Located in a quiet neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing I noticed. Like, you know, I don't know Boston geography all that well, but like, there's probably another house back there, but you're not sandwiched up against your neighbors. You do, presumably.
All right, now I'm back.
You're back. If you want to jump
in,
I am letting you back in.
So this is 2 days in a row now. My computer has lost the internet, and then clicking restart the adapter has fixed it. Not restart the router, but restart the adapter in the computer.
Like in the device manager?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
that doesn't bode
odd.
well.
That's a weird
it is.
failure point. Anyway,
Yeah.
You should look through the last couple photos here.
All right, so where did I leave off here?
All right. Here.
Yeah, now we're all right. We're in the throne room.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're having a great time.
This is where you put your man cave together.
And then we're here, and then we're in the bathroom. And Rob, people pointed out,
room.
There's carpet in the bathroom.
Absolutely.
These people love carpet.
And
Fixing things.
Yeah, as dads are wont to do.
Like, for example, fixing the entirety of this house. And my guess is, Rob, there are not wood floors underneath that carpet.
No, probably. Well, yeah, probably not. Probably not.
This is a very strange patio setup. You have the tiny deck.
That's fun.
Well, yeah, but you don't get the full circle.
Look, you can set up a little grill, and if the wind blows wrong, you can burn your house down.
See, I was hoping that if you could just rotate those stairs so they were coming at you, there could be a fire pit location if you could move enough of the stairs away. But as it stands, it's just like a slab of cement that you could put like 3 chairs on and drink some whiskey too late in the night.
So this is the thing, right? So you buy this house. That's not like totally like that's achievable. But
But
doesn't it
then you're
also
spending
feel like there's
$100,000,
yes,
like essentially
yes,
gutting it. And usually,
and that's assuming the bones are good, and I'm not 100% sure the bones are
I
good.
would like. I mean, it's not uncommon. It's like the houses that are in our neighborhood. Our house got flipped like 10 years ago. They renovated some of it. They were all built in the 70s. And my buddy bought one that was like $80,000 cheaper than the one we bought, and it's basically how the house was built in the 70s.
Oh
It's
my
it's
god.
it's functional, but it doesn't have any of the kind of modern amenities and things like that. And to do all that yourself, cabinetry, literally replacing that carpet is it's a lot
There's
of
other
money.
key information here, Patrick.
Hit me.
You see this street called the Middlesex Turnpike?
Is that a highway?
It's a street that really splits the difference between highway and street.
You're sandwiched between an actual expressway and just a very
Yes.
busy street.
Yes.
It
So
said
that's
it was
the
a
other
quiet
thing.
neighborhood. It said it was a
Yeah,
quiet neighborhood.
that seems like a fucking lie. That seems like it is a lie. That like you're going to be boxed in by terrible traffic a good portion of the day, and it'll be noisy.
See,
So
like,
yes,
usually
that's
usually when you buy houses like this, where you know, hey, I'm buying something that is either essentially authentically that the year it was built and has not just been renovated since. You're usually getting that at a deal, right? You're not usually paying a premium. Like that's a house that in a normal retail environment is what, like 200 something probably. Like
yeah.
maybe low 300s. And then okay, like I will spend the 50, 60 grand that I thought I was paying for that house, if you have that available to you, to then suddenly, invest in all the other parts of the house. But that's not there. You're just paying, Rob, you're buying that house, and you better be happy with what is there, because you're not spending any money changing it.
Nusu 1828, move where there are trains. Yeah, that's the dead zone we were describing earlier, where no listings grow. The MBTA was supposed to go further out, but as with a lot of transit plans, scrapped during the 70s for reasons. The subway and the transit lines did not extend as far out as you might hope. The other thing is we do have, like, Boston has a pretty extensive commuter rail system. It sucks. Like, I moved, like, where we live right now, I was like, oh, commuter rail, that's cool. We'll be close to a commuter rail station. That's great. After rush hour, the commuter rail back to your house runs every 2 hours. So you better really think about how early you want to get there for the train on your evening out in the city, because otherwise you are there until, and I've been there, hanging out at North Station till like 2 a.m. for the next train to run.
Good
because
God.
like I had one more drink with a friend after a movie or something.
Ugh.
It's like the worst feeling. You see that train pulling away, and it's like, well, now I just have to find things to do in beautiful Beacon Hill for 2 hours in a city that rolls up the carpet after like 11. So this is the reality of the region. So now let's, like, you know what? Like let's think about, and Patrick, let's dream a little bigger, right?
I would
like,
love to.
What
Must
if
have 3D tour.
everyone, we're talking about, like, we are we're like, MK and I are both work from home pretty extensively now. So effectively there's like an office and a half that has to be in this place. So let's give ourselves space for that, right? Let's go up to 2,000 square feet.
Ooh.
And let's say 3 bedrooms, because it'd be really best if one of them was dedicated to office stuff. So that'd be great.
So this
okay,
doesn't
well, there's
change
no homes again.
It doesn't change the pricing that much, but the availability plummets to 0.
Shrinks. Yeah.
Like, you're looking at
and
single houses within, I don't know, I'm putting my finger up here on the monitor, but that looks pretty far away from one another. Like, you've got one in Lowell, where, the area you're generally in right now. There's one house. One. And 549 is not absurd relative to what we've been looking at so far. But that's going to be the kind of house that right now people are showing up in cash, no inspections.
I was talking to one of my neighbors about this, that like she and her husband were looking for a place and they were getting really demoralized because the stuff we heard about in the Bay Area, like, 5-10 years ago, right? Where it's like, you think you've got the letter of credit, you've got all your ducks lined up, you even have a decent down payment, and you're just getting like absolutely destroyed making offers on places because like there's cash offers going out on shit.
And also waiving the sort of things that normally would go into the buying process of like, I'm going to have an inspector come through, make sure the house is like, you're not lying to me. Now people are just waiving the inspection. Like, you just buy it's here. Like, just like I had a family member, they bought a place years ago when they had one kid. Now they have 3. The place is really tight. And unfortunately, by the conclusion of having the 3rd kid, the market is just, there's nothing for them to find that fits like their family's needs, and they're unwilling to just compromise on something awful in order to just get out of the house. And then the place they owned, one of these, what should be illegal, but very much isn't, sort of like real estate conglomerates that's just buying up, like just hoovering up houses to then rent to people. They bought the house from them at a premium, waived the inspection, just to give us the property. We'll pay you a lot of money just to give it to us. And then they let them rent it. So they went from owning their house to then renting their house from the real estate like conglomerate that bought it. And they said, you can stay there as long as you want until you figure out what you're doing next. And so they essentially were paying like a little bit more than what their existing mortgage was, but then just renting it. And then in the first 6 months, a bunch of shit went wrong. Like major appliances died and they didn't owe any of it. And they were able to use that to eventually, like the nest egg they got out of that very convenient occurrence, were able to be one of those people that could like offer the above average offer to just sneak into a place that fit their needs eventually. But like what are the fucking chances of that happening? Like 0. That's a complete luck that happened to someone.
This is not a terrible listing. I'm not gonna lie. This is not bad.
Sorry, I was telling the story. That's a nice little porch, modest.
Yeah. So let's go back to the start. Like beautiful little house, on the corner.
That's all relatively
looks
new.
Decent.
Yep. It's at least a good starter place to go. Like you could do worse, and we have done worse in some of the houses we've looked at so far.
Yes. It's not.
You'd actually even have room for an island. Like you could probably fit something in the center there. It'd make it pretty tight, but you could.
I don't think you could. This to me smell like the thing that is. This photo screams to me it's a wideish angle lens, and so this room I think it looks a little smaller than
well, sometimes I'll see
it's going to be smaller than it looks.
I'll see some people they don't have room for a proper island that's like permanently in it, but it's like those like wheel-in islands. So it's like they technically store it somewhere else, and when they just want extra space to be doing something while they're prepping a meal, it essentially gives them an extra sort of spot. So it's not a permanent.
So so Patrick, this is the kind of room, like this is the stuff I'm trying to get away from, right? Look at the weird form factor, as it were, of this living room.
Can you imagine watching TV? Like the TV would have to be the size of that wall to be legible from that spot on the left there.
Yeah, you can't. So they're doing the TV above the fireplace thing, which generally is I'm not a fan of it, but I can see how they ended up kind of boxed in here because, like, where are you going to put it? Like, there's not really a great layout to be had here where you're going to be.
Put it on the wall across from that main couch. Like
that's what I would do.
The L is like you could put a big ass TV on the wall there. And yes, the person in this other... Well, you probably wouldn't put that other part of the couch there.
Nobody else can ever watch that TV, effectively.
Yeah.
It's like you're either on the couch or you're like at such a steep viewing angle. It's just and then it's not a great social space. It's like it's you sit in the living room and watch the TV.
Yeah.
And like the house kind of feels like it's full of spaces like that.
Yeah. Wow, Rob, go back there for a second.
Yeah.
That's a college classic. Look at what that TV is on.
The tubs.
Just the tubs. Just the mom's tubs that took the clothes from home, stacked 2 of those bad boys up. Who needs an actual TV stand or an entertainment center when you got those?
Yeah. Saving money. Great. This room, this is a bedroom. Uh-huh.
Someone in the chat does point out, sales of Karin points out, this looks like they just put furniture in there for pictures. If we view this less as a layout for humans as much as we just don't want to show bare rooms, maybe some of this makes a little more sense. Why you had like 2 pieces of a couch that made no layout sense in that family room area.
People are noting the ceilings seem low, and maybe they are, but the thing is, I'm used to that at this point in my current place. But yes, it's something I dream of moving on from, because if these are standard window sizes, that does imply kind of a lowish ceiling. Bathroom doesn't look bad. Oh, hey.
Oh.
This is like a fun place to hang out. Celebrate greatness.
I mean, I will say it's the one thing that kind of kills me about my house is, especially because we are one of the, like, if you have neighborhood friends growing up, you tend to not actually go to everybody's house, right? Your group tends to pick a house or 2 houses that are like the hangout houses for whatever reason. Maybe because the parents are more lax and they like let you get away with more, which is why we ended up at our house all the time when I was growing up. But we are that house often with the neighborhood kids, and I wish I had a better place to put them. Sometimes they end up scattered amongst the rooms in the house or in our projector space because there's just not. Like, I just need a hole to put them in. And I mean that in the kindest way possible. Like, I wish I could just put all their toys in a spot that I don't give a shit if it gets messy. And, like, that's what a, like, half-finished or finished basement would do for, like, where we're at in our lives. But I don't have a basement, and you can't dig one.
Well, they got tired of finishing this basement.
That's fine. You can just have enough.
We do stuff with that, yeah. But people are noting also, like, the door is where the ceiling begins. So, like, think of how tall a door is. There's no more space above it across this basement. So it is probably a lower ceiling than you would ideally want.
Hello, beautiful.
But it doesn't seem bad. It's just like, but would you take out a mortgage for $570,000 on this?
Well, I will say.
Oh my God. Hang on, we have breaking info. Our condo board has figured out what the special assessment to unfuck the basement will be. Da-da-da-da. Drum roll, please. This is massive implications for our finance. Oh my God. I just genuinely got some really bad news.
Are you okay? Do you want to?
No, I'm fine, but like, this is why we're going to talk about why I'm done with condo life.
Okay.
Our poorly managed building with years of deferred maintenance piling up had multiple massive failures over the course of last year.
Right, this is specifically one of them was involving the parking spaces where the ceiling collapsed, right? As a result of
because like
snow.
They don't heat the garage. We had a shocking cold snap over the winter. All the pipes burst. When the pipes burst, there was a ton of critical equipment beneath it. So the water pipes were in over electrics, and they just took everything out, and they collapsed the ceiling. The roof is also fucked in other places. So
this is the result of an investigation into what collectively do we owe in order to fix this building.
Yeah. Every unit in this building is going to have to cough up $16,500 in March for nothing.
Jesus, I'm sorry, man. That's horrible. And it's all for something that you don't even is just the result
Let's
of.
get that hype train going, people. Woo! Let's get those Twitch subs going, folks.
That's good.
No.
At least we're partners now, so we get a better percentage. What were you bracing?
so-
What did you? So you knew you were bracing for owing money, like that you were bracing
This
for.
is
Had they
genuinely
given you like a broad, like, hey, we're sort of thinking it's going to come in between, I don't know, 5 and 10 grand or something like that, and then this is on the higher end of whatever estimates they were guarding you for.
This is so we didn't know how bad it was going to be. We've had inklings of like this is not going to be good because like this was massive like destruction of the building that had happened over the course of the last year. But you didn't think it was going to be this much because one of the things the Condo Board in the past has been historically kind of proud of is that they have a large shit happens budget. This is a very expensive building to run. It's got a ton of units in it. Like when I've gotten some of the figures for like what it costs to run the elevators, what it costs to deal with trash collection out of this place. It is massively expensive keeping a huge building like this that is this old running. But the thing that they don't want to do is dip into all of their funds for it. So like part of the good practices is even though you're going to outlay a lot of cash, you also want to make sure that your balance roughly like your stack effectively stays reasonable for other stuff that might come up. The thing that is grating about this is, again, it's kind of the deferred maintenance thing, right? Like this stuff didn't come out of nowhere. It's Condo Boards for years, like really mismanaging this building or letting it be mismanaged. So it's like one of those things where it's in the end it's the number itself isn't so shocking. I don't think it's a bogus number. I don't think we're being gouged here. The thing that really grates here is that it's like you were being literally stuck with the bill for years of the Condo Board and the management company not really handling things well here.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this in the podcast where every time
God, the hype train is at level 6.
Yeah, Rob, you got to be careful with your words. The when you buy a house, and it's true of a condo, but it's like even true of a house because they're so sprawling, you only know so much from an inspection and what people tell you. And what has been the case over and over in our house is something goes wrong and you peel back the layer a little bit and you discover, shit, like this is what they've been doing to patch this up. It's mostly aesthetic. And then every time I have someone come out to do maintenance, when it like rises towards, I have to have this fixed, the first thing out of their mouth is, did you do this work yourself? And they mean it in the nicest way possible. But it's the implication being, this is truly fucked up. Why didn't you call us sooner? And it's like, well, that was 2 owners ago. Ain't no hype train like a sad hype train past Go 71.
So I will say, like, genuinely, folks, like, this sucks. I'm not entirely stunned by it, but it is worse news than I was expecting. And, like, it does kind of indicate, like, this is kind of why I wanted to get out in the first place. Now that they made this assessment, I don't think there's any way I can escape it. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be on the listing. I don't think I can be like, good luck, fucker. I don't think I just hand it on to the next person. Like, it's gonna be it's gonna be a thing where we're gonna eat this in one way or another. But like that's the sort of thing, right? Like once this happens, you're like, I don't know. I think I'd rather be in charge of maintaining my own home rather than having it distributed to a condo board that kind of didn't nail the problem, as it were. So anyway, so like that's the downside of condo boards. Now, Patrick, you're making a good point here. Is that this shit also just happens? You know what I mean? Like this is the equivalent of a roof repair in some ways, right? Like
and don't worry, HOA will get there. That's close to my agenda. Is having constant conversations in the neighborhood with, like we had a construction company come in, and 2 different people in my neighborhood are getting new roofs with the same style of house, and the roof is not as old as mine, but mine was denied. And so now you talk to a new construction company, finding new hoops for you to jump through, new ways to... we'll get into it on a future episode, but roofs are Like it's
Well, and that's part of this is we have this is a huge old factory, and like some of the other issues we've had in the building is that the roof keeps they keep patching damage but does need to be replaced.
yeah.
But to give you a sense of the scale this building operates, you heard my assessment, 16.5. That's quite a bit of money per unit. But this is to cover repairs that like the condo association is going to have to lay out $2 million over like the next year to fix up what's
Good
happened.
Lord.
So not great.
No.
It's a huge building, like it's dozens and dozens of units. Anyway, so you know what? Let's get aspirational, Patrick.
Well,
Let's
Rob,
get
we're
aspirational.
already spending $16.5 to fix a parking garage. Like, let's fix up our lives and what kind of house we're in
fix
as
our
well.
lives. I want, you know what? Live large, dream big. 2,500 square feet, 2 baths. Okay, there's still not many of those, but what about? All right, let's get really out there, right? Let's say $800,000.
This is like a foundation tier level house, Rob. You're out here saying, I'm committed. I'm ready for this. There's not even that many of these houses, Rob.
I don't want to see the $500,000 homes anymore. We got a sense of what that taste is like. So let's like look at this new band. Still not very many, right? But I'll bet they're all palaces. You know, $800,000, $800,000. Let us see the bounty that the Boston area housing has for us. All right, Stoneham. What do you have for us, Stoneham?
Rob, that's just
There
a house.
it is, Patrick.
Rob, that's just a house.
There it is. Feast your eyes on your dream home.
Oh my God. Estimated $5,383 a month. That's just a house.
So he's like, we already saw this one a minute ago. It's a different home. But there was something in the water down in the North Burrs where they were just like, we need to have more lime green on houses. This is an $800,000 home.
Look at the yard. Go back. What is that?
That's what your yard should look like if you care about the earth, Patrick.
Oh, fuck off.
You know what, though? I'll bet, Patrick, you would look so good out there just covering all of this in mulch.
just a mulch yard. Just like I'm running a playground in the front. Just wood chips galore. Put on your sandals.
And like, again, okay, so this is the thing I'm seeing a lot. What painting technique is this that leaves this like scalloped pattern in the ceilings? I see it fucking everywhere.
What is that?
Molecular. Rob, I grew up in a $750,000 house in La Crosse, Wisconsin. It was 6 bedrooms, 3 baths, den, game room, swimming pool, 2.9 acre lawn. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, no, those are not shadows. This is a painting technique that you see again and again in the region.
I don't like it.
Like not a terrible home, but like, do you want to? Even with a 16.5 assessment, coming down the pipe, or the pike, depending on however you want to render that phrase, do you want to spend $800,000 on this?
Rob, Adamander writes, after spending a year looking for a house in Seattle, which I've heard the market there is especially bad, none of this is surprising. I saw a listing for a house for $750K that had burned down and literally had 3 walls standing.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you see stuff like that in Stanford, like the Bay Area all the time, which is like, would you like a closet for $600,000? There's nowhere to shit, but it is a closet and it's prime real estate.
Patrick, hang on, look at the weird vibes of this home.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
All right, we got some real, like, this is a piece. This is not a table. This is a piece.
Mm-hmm.
That candelabra, a piece. Mm-hmm. Also a murder weapon and clue. All right, like normalish bedroom set, etc. Okay, like it's a little like.
Yeah,
nice,
your grandma
nice
has this, but like it's fine.
Yeah. All right, this is a little odd touch. Like I might have given some thought to this console area.
Strong college vibes. Like you can buy that IKEA for $50.
Hey, what's going on here?
I'm walking I'm putting
Walk
on my
through closet.
putting on my bathing suit, and I'm getting in that, and I'm just luxuriating in that bathtub.
The walk through closet
Ooh, ooh.
to a strange bathing palace.
I want to go to the bathing palace. This is like The Witcher. He puts his feet up,
Yeah.
having a great time. Put me in that room.
This has such strong like no, I'm getting my shower palace here. Like we're converting a bedroom to this.
No, that's just a room.
The kids can sleep there when they visit.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
This is strong like
Smells
yes,
a little bit like
this is grandmother's
cigarette
house.
smoke. We don't clean the sheets as much,
Yup.
but it's fine.
Okay, this is less fine.
Yeah.
Single light in the ceiling. Seems a little grim, but this is not bad. It's like it's not a bad home. It's like there's
a whole second
wait.
area downstairs that's pretty expansive. This is downstairs now, right?
This is a second apartment.
No, this is the downstairs.
Yeah, Patrick, we already saw a kitchen.
I know. It's a downstairs with
It's a downstairs
more.
kitchen. This is a huge in-law.
Sometimes basements will have a second kitchen. Maybe it doesn't have an oven and things like that, but you'll get a sink. But this has a kitchen.
Yeah,
This has everything.
This is an in-law, but this is a pretty substantial. Yeah, so this is a property where you got this is a rental property, almost certainly. I will say the nicest place I lived in Boston was a 3-decker where the landlords lived on the bottom floor and we occupied the top 2. It was awesome. They'd raised their family in the upper apartments when they were younger, and now they were empty nesters. They'd swapped. But that had the nice effect of they'd spec'd all the upstairs stuff out for themselves, so it was stuff they liked, and they had good taste. So it was like a few months of like living in a space that was way above our income level in terms of like what we would expect. But yeah, so like it's shit like this is super expensive, and it's still not quite like are you gonna move houses for that, right? Now over here on the right hand side,
I've seen a couple houses over here that at least look in the when I think of $500,000 and above, at least the size of the house is getting closer.
Yeah. Like this is starting to see.
These are like
this is
multi-car
a fucking mansion.
garages. Like yes, we are getting into the McMansion phase. We're getting into game rooms.
Hell yeah!
Looks like we have a barn on the end there. Look at that! Oh, that's cool. That little ladder that goes up into that little office space. Ooh, I would delight in that. Take my coffee from the kitchen up there. Nice windows that I can look out to.
Yeah, I don't know that. But doesn't it also feel like it's been an odd space?
It
like,
is.
It's
it
all
is.
the same room.
Where am I supposed to eat? Where are we eating? Where's the
Does
table?
this have Grover House vibes? Is my question.
Well, I'll keep going. Let's see what are other options.
Like, it feels like they're parts of like 3 different maybe agricultural buildings once upon a time that have been stapled together into one big house. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's go. Hey, take us up the ladder. Take us up. No, we're not going to see what's up the ladder yet.
No TV in this room. It's for talking. This is a conversation space. Oh, there's a small TV.
All right, the ladder beckons. The ladder beckons.
Wait, hold on.
Nope.
Rob, click 3D home. Can we just like, what does that do?
3D home.
Here we go. Now it's a video game.
All right. You awaken in 327 Salem Street, North Andover. You enter the foyer. Okay, it's performing really poorly for me, Patrick. Did this load?
No, it is not loaded on my end either. I thought the resolution of the photos would be a little higher. Oh well.
Yeah, so, all right. I don't think we went up the ladder yet. We're looking at a bedroom.
No.
Not a bad bedroom.
No.
Okay. Some nice stuff here.
What are those little
These
like
speaker boxes?
Yeah, what are those? Why are they
This
on the
like a home
ground as
theater
well?
setup? It's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fully know what's going on there.
Books.
Oh.
Books. Just a desk not to do work, but to stare at
That
these
is
books.
a place. just set up my camera and just, tell people about the great civilizations in the Western canon and just guiding young men from all around the world to being their best selves. No, but genuinely, like, built-in shelves, library, that seems great.
This does seem great. And look, they have littered every single space with extra book and a little speaker that looks like maybe like a little Sonos or something like that.
Yeah,
I like this
possibilities.
room. This room looks great. Oh
fuck yeah.
Oh. Wait, how did we get here? How did we get here? Oh, we have the floor plan. It does show us where we are. Can you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, there we go. Can we? Oh, yeah. Bedroom. Now go back one. Go back one.
We're up the ladder.
We are up the ladder.
We're up the ladder. That little.
So the book room is at the top of the ladder.
Is that what it is? So wait, go back. You're right. Book room is.
Yeah, because you can see you can see the TV down there in the bottom. Just in the bottom right hand corner of that photo, you can see the TV that's in that living space.
So where are we now? We are.
Oh wait, I think that's the ladder. I think that's the ladder.
So there's this weird little warren up here.
This is what. Can you click the 3D home again? Can we just try it one more time to see if it'll work? I know. Okay, it loaded this time.
Okay. All right, so we're all in the loft space.
Click. Here we go. All right.
Oh,
all right. Now we're back.
Okay.
Now
so
we're
I get on my hands and knees to enter this bedroom. But once I'm in there, okay, this is giving strong low ceiling vibes. But
what's down there?
What's
in that hallway?
I don't know. Let's take a look around.
I don't think we can open the closet. I don't think this is a Tex Murphy adventure game.
Clump, clump, clump. Okay. We have to go down this hall, right?
Yeah, we have to go down the hallway. I don't like it. Turn the lights. Make sure that switch stays on. I don't want the lights turning off.
You just get in this hall, like, every few nights you get stuck in this hallway and you never seem to reach the end of it, and nobody believes you, and you swear to God that, like, the hallway is changing shapes and dimensions.
What do they call it? The back rooms, I think, is like the liminal space creepypasta stuff that's very popular with the younger generations. I watched. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've arrived at the book club.
Okay. Wait, what? Sorry.
Yeah. Can we go? Why can't we keep going? Here? Why can't we keep going?
Show me more.
And it looks. Oh, look at this cute door. I think those are like marking of like children's heights and things like that. That's kind of what that looks like. But why is it? Why is it at that angle?
Why did they just stop? The hallway goes on.
Are the children's bodies past here?
All right, let's pull back. All right, get back on your knees.
Wait, Rob, no, go back down the hallway, and then what does the floor plan say beyond it? The floor plan might tell us what's there, even though we can't go there through photographs.
Bedroom?
Maybe we can get there another way.
Maybe. Once we level, the gates come down, and we'll be able to access.
I think there's a button underneath. I think there's actually a book we have to. If we pull it in the right order, a door will open.
Who doesn't want this closet? Patrick, it's time for your timeout. I don't know why you had to make Papa so mad.
You could have just read him the book.
Go into the timeout box.
He just wanted to read. Papa just wanted to read a book with you. Yeah, these Rob, could you even make it through these hallways standing
I
up?
am, dude. I should see if they'll let me. If they're doing showings, I actually am really curious now. But also, doesn't it feel like
Ah, what happened to
at
the
some
what's happening in
point
the center of this photo?
that's the camera stand?
Oh,
So every one of these photos leaves a weird artifact. Um,
I see. That makes sense.
but doesn't it also feel like at some point, Patrick, you are going to suffer grievous bodily harm
Oh yeah.
just because you like slipped coming down these stairs?
Rob,
You forgot they were
I
there.
am gonna crush bottles of bourbon in that reading room, and then come down this stairwell thinking I should have one more, and just eat it. I'm just done. Like straight
Yep.
flopping.
You buy this house, you buy a massive insurance policy, and look, Katie and the kids taken care of for life.
How'd you crack your skull open? Well,
Yeah, people asking how tall am I? About 6'5". So some of these rooms pose challenges, but like, isn't this home? You know, honestly, some of this feels like really newly redone. Some of this feels like there's been a ton of money sunk into this place, but also this whole place screams money pit.
but all houses are money pits to some extent. Rob, it's just, do you want it to be your money pit?
This feels like the final boss of money pits. Oh, hey, a barn door. But they might have come by it honestly. That might legitimately be a fucking barn door for whatever this part of the house used to be.
Well, also, oh, is this the barn part of the house at this point that we're in?
Wait, hang on. I think we're coming. And here we find the limits of what they managed to do.
You,
These folks got to this point and they were like, we need to get out of this fucking house.
make sure to save your game before going into this room.
We can't even go up. We can't even go up. We'll see if there's photos of it in a second. But yeah, this is an unfinished rehab. So this is why this is why it's 700 grand, right? Because this is $700,000
It would be a $1 million
house,
house if it was done.
and it probably has about 300 grand, maybe less than that, you know, but like it's got a lot of money left to sink into it, I would bet you. And also like because of the way this house came together, it just kind of has a weird feeling, right?
It does. It doesn't feel connected.
No, and that's because if you go back to
Look, barn unfinished. That's how it's listed at the bottom in the layout.
oh, where? Oh yeah, space not shown. And then floor 2. This is a lie. This is also all unfinished. Because like the thing terminated here. We don't know what's in here. Oh wait, here we go.
Oh,
This is the one photo we get of where things are
the barn,
left off.
right? Like this is the barn.
They
Like they
framed it out,
just wild,
and they're like, "We're fucking done."
or something more like there's a lot like this. These pictures tell a story that we don't know, but is not great.
Yeah. But maybe it's great for me.
Rob picking up carpentry, you know? Why not me? Why not put up my own walls?
I could.
The hard part's
I could
done,
just-
Rob. The wood slaps. I mean,
I can nail some sheetrock to this shit.
yeah. Wow.
Look, it looks like they even got the service boxes in there. It's basically done.
amazing. You just call Vinny Caravella up. You two,
Yeah, call Vinny.
couple days, a 6-pack, done. House finished.
Deco Conquest. If you guys ever managed to do another board game stream, I highly recommend Castles of the Mad King. It's about massive unfinished castles. Apropos of nothing. But yeah, so like, this is a huge place, and
What
this is I can see how you ended up in this boat. But man,
What is the rest of the like? There, click the show more by the overview. Do we get any other sense of the story of like this property? Has
iconic farmhouse in North Andover with stunning grounds featuring mature plants and fruit trees. The main house offers a renovated first floor with an updated kitchen with granite counters and Brazilian cherry flooring, dining area, family room with pellet stove, and scenic views of the pastoral backyard. How pastoral are we talking? How many? What was the lot size? 3/4 of an acre. The second floor has 3 bedrooms, wide pine floors, and a lovely home office. Approximately 700 square feet is gutted for 2 bedrooms, laundry room, and 2 full baths. The property has a potential in-law unit, which has 2 bedrooms, full bath, family room, and stackable laundry. The barn is fabulous for workshop, studio, and endless possibilities.
Well, endless possibilities should be underlined, bolded, and italicized.
Built in 1770. That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, you see a lot of that here, though. So let me see if I can find some. If I can dig something up here in Lowell. No, that ain't it. All right, let's take the safeties off. Sorry, folks.
Ooh.
All right.
1.23.
So Belvedere is like, this is where like the owners of Lowell built their mansions. It's on the like tallest hill in the area. It overlooks downtown. Like I'm on like the 12th floor of an old factory, and I am still looking up at this hill, or at least some of the highest houses on it. And so you find like this wave of homes built in like 1900, as like the industrial magnates invested, like, you know, built their mansions. But it does mean that they end up being like historical properties. And so I'm not even sure that you can like retrofit all of them to have like AC, for instance, because like, you know, they're historic properties. But yeah,
this,
so like
this is big. Like
Lowell is a dense town. The thing you need to understand is this is a very dense town, right? Like space is at a premium here. It's landlocked. There is no big suburban space in Lowell. This place is sitting on an acre.
Ooh.
If they have a drone shot, you're going to see how improbable these things look.
Look at that. That's several houses in that backyard.
Yes. Oh, damn. It's kind of a fun contemporary look.
There it is.
Okay, yeah. So outside of this lot, what you're going to find is a much denser neighborhood.
Oh.
The Edward Trull House.
So it is a historic.
Yep. And I do wonder, like, how. So I know the issue. The historic board is often like just pleading with people, please, like, take care of anything historical and do something.
Yeah.
So like, maybe they're just so happy to have folks take these places that it's like, sure, fuck it. You wanna retrofit it to have an indoor basketball court? Great. Just don't mess with the exterior lines of the house. I don't know. So
Wait.
I guess speaking of indoor basketball court,
Hold on. So the treadmill is he shooting hoops
while
while
on the
walking?
treadmill. Yeah, Patrick.
Is someone feeding
how do
him?
you think you get? How do you think you get like $1.2 million? By being a multitasker.
That's true.
By being a doer.
True. You're right.
You get on that treadmill and you sink shots.
Just like I'm signing business deals. That's a lot of space to hang things.
See, if you bought this place, you could drive over to North Andover and like rehab it using things you fashioned here in your workshop. Yeah. But anyway, so the thing is, so the problem is like Belvedere is also kind of like isolated on top of this hill, and since then, like, it's been surrounded by really busy streets. Again, commuting's a nightmare. The people up in Belvedere have basically run this town for years. I think that Lowell recently had like a court-ordered redistricting because they all elected at-large districts, which meant everyone just votes for their candidates, and we'll just see who gets elected. And weirdly enough, it was always the like people in Belvedere being elected for the entire city council. And so this town was run by people living in like this one really rich neighborhood. And then I think a court came in and was like, yeah, that's not actually legit. You need to actually have districts where people who can represent people actually represent their interests. So, yeah.
Okay,
anyway, the point is...
okay, well, finish your point, and then I have a question.
Yeah. No, go on. Ask your question.
So, Um, I'm comfortable saying we paid like $340 for our house 7 years ago, right? In a pretty standard neighborhood in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. You and I like similar career tracks, like similar like salaries, like you would have essentially been on track to buy a similar style house to the kind of one that we landed ahead of all this going to shit. What even pops if you put in 300 to 400 grand, which would be otherwise would have been the kind of house you would have been in the market for before all this became a nightmare. Again, remember, this is 7 years ago, a ways before everything became nightmarish. But it was a good deal. It's a good house. And ours is, I think I looked, yeah, it was 1,500 square feet. That was what.
All right, so about 400, like.
Yeah. 300 to 400. Yes, that I think we had set 400 as our cap when we were looking for houses. So. All right. Nothing.
Well,
a couple.
What's this little fella?
Well, he's a little fella.
Very little.
He's a little fella.
800 square feet.
Wow. Now, if this was a beach home,
very few interior photos. It is not.
It's not. Okay. All right.
No.
No.
I mean, well, actually,
there's a little lake. Silver Lake. How big is lake? Is
adjacent. It's
what allows you
to the tiny little lake?
What is lake a term you tell yourself, or is there an actual definition to it?
I feel like there probably is a. I don't see how this is not a pond. If I'm being honest, I just don't know how. Like, hang on. Let's go down to Boston real quick. Fresh Pond. Okay, so this is Fresh Pond.
That looks bigger than that lake.
That does. Fresh Pond. Yeah, no, we can get them both on the. Okay. Yeah, that's Fresh Pond. That's that lake. No, you can't get away with that. This is fraud.
For you. Wow. I mean, yeah, it was mostly just an exercise in trying to. I was just curious, like what do the houses look like that normally, like that one, like 319,000 is for that little dinky place down there.
I know, man. And this is the thing, right? Like, so there are places where it's like, even if you swallowed hard, right? And you're like, okay, whatever it takes, we need to get a bigger place, etc.
And if you just sort of tell yourself it's not about necessarily equity in a place that you're going to sell, just think of like you're converting from renting to owning. And look, I'm just going to be paying this for the rest of my life. Like, if you like try to frame it that way to yourself and then just eat like a massive cost, you don't really end up with something that feels commiserate with eating it and getting something equitable in return.
Like, I mean, okay, this is a little bad because I'm looking at Andover, which is like one of the toniest places in the region. And like, this looks fine. And it doesn't feel commensurate, but also it doesn't, you can scroll through and it doesn't feel like there's a ton of work you immediately have to do. It'd be kind of.
You have a pool.
It's got a pool. Pool's
a pool. Ooh.
But the thing is, though,
for $900,000, I better have a fucking pool, to be perfectly honest.
Well, and the other thing is, like, when you do the mortgage calculator shit and you realize, like, okay, so I could really stretch and scrape together, let's call it a 10% down payment, right? Mm-hmm. Really dig deep. Find a way to do that. You're financing a little over 800 grand. And then you look at the loan terms and it's like, well, you're going to pay, you're going to borrow about 800 and you're going to pay back like an additional $1 million, like, or honestly, $1.5 million over the course of the loan on that. That makes it tough to move, man. And suddenly, even when you're staring down a bullshit assessment like this, even when your mismanaged shitty condo is like, whoops, sorry, we lit $17,000 of your money on fire. And also, sorry about the mice that are currently like eating through the bottom layer of your drywall across the entire apartment. Even then, you're kind of sitting there being like, you know what?
I do like this shit sandwich. It's not as
Yeah,
bad. It's not so bad actually. Like,
I think I could put a little some better condiments on this shit sandwich, and I'd be really happy I have it.
ah, God. I mean, it's
Patrick, if we have more time, I'm so curious, like what your area looks like.
yeah. We can do,
Like,
and we
because
can,
I know, like you're kind of locked in by like you got a great neighborhood, but I'm just curious, like if you just want to move a few blocks over, you know what I mean, or a few like
oh,
or one town over,
it
where it's
go.
like okay, the kids will be in the
Yeah, you don't have to go
yeah, go
very
on.
far. Like, I mean, literally the the one town over, like the income, like the houses practically double. And one street over, which is where they got the fiber. I don't have the fiber. Literally across the street, they have the fiber. I don't have the fiber. Those are in like the McMansion sort of territory, and so you don't have to go far from our neighborhood to have the housing prices skyrocket. And it's like, ours,
Yeah,
like I said, I paid or we loaned out really like for 340 ish for the house we got now, and bidding against one other person, and that house is like up 100 like over that 7 years. It's not real money, but like that's what the estimates tell you. And so that just goes to tell you like, well, then what do those other houses in the neighborhood also look like? Bad. Like if my house, which is fine, it's a lovely house, I like it, but there's nothing fancy about it. It's just a solid, totally normal suburban house. All the other ones have probably gone bonkers since then.
yeah,
But yeah, we can look around
yeah.
whereabouts my neighborhood.
But yeah, so
Next time.
that's just context for like why we are so, like why on the one hand we are keenly aware like do we really want to sink a ton more money into this place, and
Yeah.
now now because the condo board involuntarily we're sinking a bunch of money into this place, but even knowing that like there's a degree of like illogic to that, you look at this market and you're like, well, I guess we're dumping a small fortune into making a tiny little condo or suburban home into something a little nicer and a little more customizable.
I wish I can't
'cause that's where it's at.
I can't dox my family. But I wish I could show. Well, I showed you that one house. Remember when I said I was at a rich house because I had a family member.
Yeah.
They already lived in Naperville, which they do. Let's not get into it. If you know what that means, then you can make your own. You can draw some of your own conclusions from that information. They had a family house in Naperville that they lived in while their kids grew up. Sold that house a couple years before COVID. So it's like Naperville's an expensive area that's always going up. Bought in around that neighborhood, but like a house that was meant for them as opposed to having their kids living at home anymore. Then COVID happens. The housing market explodes. They sell that house for I don't know how much, but you can just start. You could pick a number out of your ass, and you'd probably be right. And then they ended up buying this like $1.6 million home in Illinois that like has like literally a suit of armor in it that was left over from the previous owner.
Absurd.
I really like
Come to
visiting. They
Indiana,
got a cool
Rob.
pool.
Prices don't make up the shit you have to deal with here.
Oh, in fact, we're gonna be gone Labor Day weekend.
I
and
went
we're
to great pains to leave Indiana.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do.
Do not feel a call.
I think that's gonna do it for this stream. I hope people enjoyed our indulging in Rob's housing despair. There's a little more context for all of this when you listen to the HOA pod that will come out later on. Condo is literally in the midst of producing that at the moment, and that'll kind of these two things will make sense in concert. But like part of what we want to do is we got this podcast that is going to go out to foundation tier members as a pilot, and hopefully everyone likes it and would like to see us do more in that world. We have a lot of fun talking about it. In no way, and we address this in the podcast, we're not leaving video games behind. But a lot of the stuff we're plotting related to video games is just stuff we can't really talk about yet. It requires a little more behind the scenes stuff that we're setting up, but I promise there will be fruitful things on the horizon in that regard. This is us just kind of dicking around with some ideas we've been kicking. We're already doing it in streams and DMs anyway, and much like sports, it's like, well, we might as well just talk about it into a microphone and see what the audience thinks. So let us know what you think when the HOA pod drops sometime soon. Hopefully you enjoyed the many streams we had this morning. Destiny 2, and then Gamescom opening night, and then us cackling in despair at Zillow. And we'll have more later this week, including Ren and I are going to be streaming Armored Core 6, right? 6, I think is the number we're at, on Friday afternoon. So stay tuned for all that and plenty more. Thanks everyone for watching. And now I have to hit outro because Kato is not here. So I'm gonna hit outro. Bye, Rob.